You know, every nation has its own story, right? A grand saga of struggle, of triumph, and this relentless push to figure out who it really is. Today, we're diving into the story of one of the world's most vibrant and, frankly, complex characters, Mexico. And its story is nothing short of a quest for sovereignty in a world that's pulling it in a million different directions. So here it stands, a nation that's just brimming with incredible cultural richness and so much economic potential. But it's caught. It's stuck at this profound crossroads, straddling the massive divide between the global north and south. It's a place where ancient history and a hyper-modern future are locked in this dramatic embrace. And that brings us to the big one, the central question of this entire story, the epic challenge that defines this moment in its history. Faced with these overwhelming forces, both from within and without, can Mexico truly forge its own independent destiny? To really get a grip on this quest, we first have to understand the forces at play. Mexico's story is being defined by a series of what you could call great trials, these powerful currents that are shaping its very identity and its path forward. There are three monumental challenges standing in its way. An internal war against the shadows of powerful cartels, the immense, unyielding pressure from its border with a superpower, and finally, this deep, existential struggle for real economic freedom. These are the conflicts that will decide its fate. Let's start with the most intimate of these trials, the battle against shadows. Now, this is not just a problem of crime and punishment. This is an internal struggle for the very soul of the nation, a fight against a force that has grown from within its own borders. And that force is often called a shadow state. The term itself is just so powerful. It suggests something far beyond simple criminal gangs. It points to a parallel power structure, one that's actively trying to rival the authority of the nation itself. This comparison really shows you just how real that threat is. On one side, you have the official state with its government and formal institutions, but on the other, the shadow state exercises its own power. It controls huge amounts of territory, it corrupts institutions from the inside, and it engages in its own brutal form of diplomacy, transnational violence. It's a direct challenge to the very idea of a sovereign Mexico. Okay, so the next great trial is an external one, the giant next door. Mexico's relationship with the United States isn't a simple alliance. It's a constant, delicate, and incredibly high-stakes dance with the most powerful nation on Earth. This duality really defines the relationship. On one hand, the United States is a vital partner, an engine for trade and prosperity. But on the other, it's a source of immense pressure on security, on migration, and on Mexico's own sovereignty, with the constant threat of intervention just hanging in the air. And just consider the sheer scale of this relationship, a nearly 2,000-mile border. This isn't just some abstract diplomatic challenge. It is a physical, geopolitical fault line etched right into the continent, a line that is both a bridge for trade and a wall of friction. This brings us to the third great trial, which lies right at the intersection of the first two, the quest for economic freedom. For Mexico, prosperity has always been a bit of a double-edged sword, a story of complex trade-offs between growth and control. The data tells a pretty stark story. A staggering 80% of Mexico's trade is with its North American partners under the USMCA, that big free trade agreement. Now, this integration has brought a lot of wealth, but it has also created a profound dependence. This relationship is often described as an economic umbilical cord, and it's a great metaphor, right? It provides life-sustaining nourishment, yes, but it also ties Mexico's economic destiny inextricably to the will and the whims of its northern neighbor. And that economic cord may be tightening. There's a global trend called Nearshoring, which is a huge opportunity for Mexico to become North America's manufacturing hub, especially for things like electronics and auto parts. But this boom could also deepen its dependence, making true economic sovereignty even more elusive. But a new player has entered the game. The rising influence of China offers Mexico something it has wanted for a long time, an alternative. Beijing's growing investments offer potential leverage against US pressure, a way to balance the scales. But this is no simple solution. It just introduces an entirely new and complex geopolitical dynamic. So we arrive at the final act. After facing the shadows within, the giant next door, and the paradox of its own prosperity, Mexico's future is hanging in the balance. The final outcome of this great quest? Well, it remains unwritten. Two paths really lie before Mexico. Will it emerge as a true regional power, asserting control, masterfully managing its relationships, and achieving genuine economic sovereignty? Or will it remain a fragmented state, forever challenged by internal forces and subject to external pressures? The stakes could not be higher. Which leaves us with one final, lingering question. A question that captures the immense, breathtaking potential of this nation and the uncertainty of its epic journey. After centuries of struggle, after all these trials, will the giant finally awaken?
At Geotectonics, our mission is to uncover these profound tectonic shifts, offering clarity in a world of complexity. If this analysis deepened your understanding, please like this video to support our work, share it with others who seek real insight, and subscribe to Geotectonics to ensure you never miss our next deep dive. We'll continue to explore the crucial geopolitical movements that define our time. Thank you for joining us.